1,000 years before Caesar wore a crown, a forgotten people reigned, shaping cities with bronze and stone, sealing fates with blood, and looking to prophecy to guide their destiny. Long before Rome's legions marched across the world, the land that would become Italy was ruled by the Etruscans, a people both admired and feared by their neighbours. Masters of bronze work, architecture and maritime trade, they built prosperous city-states across central Italy, each ruled by powerful kings. Their engineering skill was unmatched for the time. They constructed sturdy arches, carved drainage channels to tame rivers, and even built early aqueduct-like systems to supply their cities with fresh water. Beneath the earth, they created vast underground necropolises, elaborate tombs decorated with vivid frescoes, a testament to their belief in a richly adorned afterlife. Etruscan culture was deeply spiritual, rooted in mysterious rituals and divination practices. Priests studied lightning strikes and the entrails of sacrificed animals to interpret the will of the gods. Yet they were far from isolated. Constant contact with Greek colonies in southern Italy brought them new art styles, alphabet systems, and myths, which they wove seamlessly into their own traditions. For centuries, their kings presided over a thriving network of cities, festivals, and military alliances. But as power grew, so did tensions. In one of history's most decisive cultural turning points, discontent among their Latin subjects would spark a rebellion, one that would overthrow kings forever and lay the foundation for the Roman Republic. In 509 BC, the Romans cast off their last Etruscan king, swearing never again to be ruled by a monarch. From this oath, the Republic is born, a bold experiment in shared power between Senate, magistrates, and the people. What begins as a modest city-state soon becomes an unstoppable force. Roman legions march across continents, binding distant lands together with roads that stretch thousands of miles, and a legal system whose echoes still guide justice today. Latin, once the language of a single city, becomes the voice of diplomacy, literature, and empire. In the heart of Rome, the Colosseum roars with the blood and spectacle of gladiators, while soaring aqueducts deliver water to cities as far as the eye can see. The Pax Romana, a golden age of stability, fuels trade routes from Britain to the sands of Arabia. But beneath the marble and order, cracks begin to form. Greed erodes virtue. Borders strain under the weight of constant invasion. By 476 AD, the Western Empire collapses, its grandeur reduced to ruins, yet its legacy destined to outlive the empire itself. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire leaves Italy fractured, a chessboard of rival powers, each vying for control. Barbarian invasions carve the peninsula into shifting realms: Ostrogoths, Lombards, Byzantines, and later the Normans in the south. Amid the chaos, great city-states emerge. Venice, born from refugees in the lagoons, becomes a maritime superpower, its fleets ruling the Adriatic and beyond. Florence grows rich from textiles, banking, and daring trade with distant lands. In the heart of the peninsula, the papal states dominate through faith and politics, their authority reaching far beyond Rome's crumbling walls. Stone fortresses crown hilltops, while cathedrals soar skyward, adorned with mosaics and frescoes that speak to both devotion and ambition. Markets bustle with merchants from across Europe and the East, carrying silk, spices, and stories. It is a time of both fragmentation and innovation, where alliances shift like the tides, and each city builds its own path toward power, wealth, and glory. In the 14th century, Florence sparks a cultural revolution that will forever change the course of human history. This is the Renaissance, a rebirth of art, science, and philosophy. In the workshops of Florence, Leonardo da Vinci sketches flying machines, anatomical studies, and visions of the future. In the marble halls of Rome, Michelangelo chisels the Pietà and paints the Sistine Chapel ceiling, while Botticelli's delicate brushwork captures both divine beauty and human desire. Wealthy patrons like the Medici family transform their cities into open-air museums, funding artists, architects, and scholars. The printing press spreads knowledge faster than ever before, carrying humanist ideas across Europe. Architectural masterpieces rise, domes, palaces, and grand piazzas, symbols of a confident age. Italy becomes not just a land of beauty, but the beating heart of global creativity, influencing every corner of the known world. For centuries, Italy was not a single nation, but a prize fought over by powerful empires. From the 1600s onward, Spain, Austria, and France controlled vast swathes of the peninsula, each leaving their mark on its politics, architecture, and culture. Cities became pawns in a game of European power, Naples under Spanish viceroys, Milan under Austrian Habsburgs, and northern territories shifting between French and Austrian hands. But in the hearts of the Italian people, a different vision began to burn. Il Risorgimento, the resurgence. This was the dream of unity, of breaking free from foreign dominance to form one nation. The 19th century saw revolts and uprisings ripple across the land. Writers and thinkers fueled nationalist sentiment. Secret societies like the Carbonari plotted in the shadows. Then came the great leaders of unification: Giuseppe Garibaldi, the legendary general with his red shirts, and Camillo de Cavour, the cunning statesman who forged alliances to make unity possible. Piece by piece, the fragmented states fell into place. In 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was proclaimed under Victor Emmanuel II, but the dream was incomplete. Rome was still in foreign hands. A decade later, in 1871, Rome was seized and declared the capital, marking the true birth of modern Italy. From centuries of division and foreign control, a united nation emerged, proud, ambitious, and ready to claim its place in history. The newly unified Italy races into the industrial age, with northern cities like Milan and Turin booming in factories and commerce, while the rural south struggles in poverty and neglect. Railways stitch the peninsula together, but deep cultural and economic divides remain. At the turn of the century, Italy's ambitions push it into wars abroad, including the Italo-Turkish conflict, marking its arrival on the global stage. The First World War leaves scars both on the land and the national psyche, breeding unrest and fueling the rise of Benito Mussolini's fascist regime in the 1920s. Under Mussolini, the country is reshaped into a militarized state, its streets filled with propaganda, and its people drawn into dreams of empire. The Second World War proves catastrophic. Alliances with Nazi Germany drag Italy into ruin. Bombings devastate cities, resistance movements erupt, and by 1943, Mussolini is overthrown. By 1946, in the aftermath of defeat, the monarchy collapses under the weight of its failures, and a new republic is born from the ashes of war. In the ashes of World War II, Italy abolishes the monarchy and is reborn as a republic. Cities scarred by bombings begin to rise again, stone by stone, dream by dream. The 1950s and 60s bring Il Miracolo Economico, the economic miracle. Factories hum with production, from the stylish Fiat 500 to the iconic Vespa scooters that buzz through narrow city streets. Cinecittà Studios in Rome becomes Hollywood on the Tiber, exporting Italian beauty, romance and drama to the world. Fashion houses like Gucci, Armani and Versace transform Milan into a global style capital. Italian cuisine, once humble and regional, takes the world by storm, with pizza, pasta and espresso becoming universal comforts. In the late 20th and early 21st centuries, Italy navigates political shifts, embraces the European Union, and faces challenges from economic recessions to migration waves. Yet through it all, its identity remains unshaken. Today, Italy is a seamless blend of ancient and modern, Roman ruins standing beside sleek high-rises, traditional espresso bars coexisting with Milanese tech startups. It is a country that wears its history with pride, yet looks to the future with creativity and passion. From the age of Etruscan kings to the hum of espresso machines, from marble temples standing proud under the Mediterranean sun, to fashion runways shimmering in the heart of Milan, Italy's story is a masterpiece painted across centuries. It is a land where ambition carved empires, where art and science danced together in the Renaissance, and where resilience rebuilt cities after the ashes of war. Every stone of the Colosseum whispers of gladiators and emperors. Every sip of coffee carries the soul of bustling piazzas and centuries of tradition. Here the past is never gone. It flows like wine through the veins of the present, shaping a nation that remains as bold, passionate, and unforgettable as the history that forged it.